welcome back to my channel. My name is Cindy Castillo, and in this video we're going to be doing a tutorial on this beautiful piece right here. I'm using the famous cotton swab technique for this video, where we bunch up a couple of cotton swabs together and use them to create the flowers on the very top of the tree. I think it's a very unique technique, and it's especially very helpful for beginners. So if you're a beginner and you want to give this a shot with me, or just want to learn how this piece is made, then please keep on watching. Alright guys, so for this piece we're going to be working on a 12 by 16 canvas board. We're going to be using an old rag just to clean up our brushes in between uses. We're going to be using, of course, an assortment of brushes, and you're going to see which ones I'm going to be using in the process of this video. I'm going to be using a cup of water, and I'm going to be using the following colors, and you can use whatever you have as long as it's in a similar range to these ones. And of course we're going to be using our cotton swabs. So these are the ones that I have right now, and I bunched them into different sets. So I have this little bunch that's the largest one, and it has 6 cotton swabs in one pack. And then these ones have 3, and just individual ones in case we want to touch up little details on the painting. Alright, so we're going to start off with a background, and I'm just going to do a traditional sky by mixing in these 2 shades of blue with the white. We first want to wet our brush a little bit, and that's just going to help with the blending of everything. It looks like it had a red color before, so it's kind of like getting in there, but don't worry about that, we're going to fix it. I kind of want to show you how I'm mixing the colors. So we're grabbing one of each, like a little dab of each color, and then grabbing in the white a little bit. And we're just going to cover the entire canvas. Whenever your paint is getting harder to blend with these little like edges like that, just go ahead and dip your brush back in the water and then back into your paint, and you'll notice that's going to make it way easier to blend. So of course, don't worry too much about how the top third of your painting is coming out in the bottom third of your painting, because on the bottom is where we're going to do our grass, and on the top is where we're going to do our branches. So it's going to get covered up anyway, so don't worry too much about it. Alright, so now that we're happy with our sky, we're going to jump into the first part of the fun part of this video. So what that means is we're going to start using our cotton swabs, but we're going to do the very first layer of flowers that we want on our tree, and then we're going to jump back into the tree, draw it out, draw the grass, and then come back for a second layer. So in this part, we're going to be doing the very first layer, and I'm thinking that for that, we're going to be using, again, the 2 blues that we have here, and we're just going to do a blend of colors and mixing them in with white and a little bit of black, just to give it a little bit more depth and to make them darker, since they're going to be part of like the they're going to be the flowers that are going to be furthest from the eye, if that makes sense. So we're going to grab our cotton swabs and then dip them, make sure that they're even. That way when you're applying them on the canvas, they stamp out very evenly. So you'll get all 6 of them on the canvas when you stamp them. So we're going to dab into our colors and make sure that we have different shades of the blue. And we're going to start covering and just dab it out. Dabbing it out like that. And just start forming the shape that you want for your tree. We want our tree, I'm thinking I want it to hit about halfway through the canvas. So I'm gonna drag them down just as a guide to let me know where the flowers will stop. Right there. And we're gonna add a little bit of that purple, and we're just gonna take one of the cotton swabs and dab one of them into the purple, and then the rest back to the blue. So see how that one has the purple? There we go. That's what I wanted. So as you can see, in order to form this shape, what I'm doing is going in very heavy-handed towards the top. And then once I get to the bottom, I go lightly and then just focus on one cotton swab doing all of the work. That way you get that point towards the end. And that's just the ends of the branches. Alright, so now that we're happy with our first layer of flowers, we're going to take these brushes right here. One of them is square and the other one is more pointed towards the top. And we're going to use these to create our grass and our tree. So in order to draw those, we're going to be using our black paint. And we're going to start out with this square brush. So we're going to take a little bit of that and just draw in the shape of how you want your grass to go. I want it to be a little bit lumpy, kind of like with hills. So I'm just gonna go in a pattern like that and just like that. And then after that, we're gonna fill up the bottom. I'm gonna switch out my brush because that one was very stiff. This one's softer, so I'm gonna use that because it's making it way easier to fill out. Alright, now that the bottom is filled out, we're going to focus on the top of the grass, and we're going to use the small brush for that. And what we're going to do is just dip in the black and just create tiny strokes like that to create the grass. So just go like feathering towards the top. And I kind of want grass that stands tall and it looks like ungroomed, like it hasn't been trimmed in a while. Alright, so now that we're happy with our grass, we're going to move on to the tree. And for that, we're going to be using the same angled brush that we used to fill in the grass. We're going to use that and dab into our black and start drawing in the shape of the tree. If you want to go in with a kid's chalk first to sketch it out, that's totally fine. I think I'm just going to go freehand for now. So we're gonna go in, I think this is kind of like the middle. So we're gonna go in. And of course the widest part is on the bottom. And I think we're just gonna go, I want it to kind of like bend like that. So my tree's gonna kind of like be leaning like a cholo. Kind of like that. And then with a branch towards the left, just so that it's supporting this side of the tree. So like that, and then a branch like this, and like that. Perfect. Now we're going to start filling it out and just fill it out with black. Alright, perfect. So now that we have the shape of our tree down, we're going to start adding some shading. And for that, we're going to be using the small brush that we used for the feathering of the grass. So we're going to dip into some white, just grab a little bit of that, and just start doing some shading for the tree. Alright, so I stepped off for a little bit, let it dry, let everything completely dry, and now that we're happy with the shading of our tree and the grass and everything else, we're going to go ahead and move forward with the second layer of our flowers. And for this, we're going to use the same pack of cotton swabs, and we're just going to go over to the clean side because now we're going to be using the purple and the pinks for the second layer. And what I'm also going to do is just mix a little bit of the blue with the red just to create a new shade of purple, and I'm going to show you right now what I mean. So I'm going to take a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the red and just mix them together like so to create this really dark, beautiful purple. And we can add a little bit of white to that just to lighten it up. A little bit more. And we can even add a little bit of the pink. So that's the purple shade that it gave us. I really like it. So we're going to use that. And again, we're using the clean side of our cotton swabs and dipping in the purple that we just made, dipping in the other purple back and forth, and a little bit of the white as well. And we're just gonna go ahead and add it on top, and just add it to where you feel like it needs a little bit of highlight of flowers. So we're gonna add it on top. And now this time I'm dabbing into the pink as well. Alright guys, so this is basically our final piece. The only thing that I'm gonna do now is just go back with a little bit of black paint and fill up these kind of like spots that were left from the pink paint. And like with any piece that I make, I'm gonna go over with a gold Sharpie and add our signature to the bottom. Alright guys, so this is our final piece right here. I really hope you love this. This is the very first time that I've tried out this cotton swab technique for flowers, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. I think it gives the piece a very natural, a very in-depth look. It definitely is useful when you use different layers of paint on the top, just to give it that realistic look. I think in our tree it's very key to use that white for the shading, and for the grass it's key to use that feathering motion to create that realistic grass. So I really hope you enjoy it. If you do like it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up as always. And if you have any suggestions for future videos or future techniques that you'd like me to use, go ahead and drop those in the comments below. I'm always open to hearing your suggestions and what you'd like to see on my channel. Again, I really hope you like this piece, and if you do give it a shot, go ahead and send me your pictures. I'd love to see your work as always. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I had so much fun creating this piece for you using the cotton swab technique that's been around the internet for a little bit now. So I decided to give it a shot, and hopefully you guys are able to watch this video, take a couple of techniques and tips with you and use that as your own. And if you do decide to give this piece or a piece of your own a try, go ahead and tag me on your pictures. The links to all of my social media channels will be in the description box below. If you have any questions or if something wasn't very clear for you in this video, you can also leave those in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to help you out. If you guys have any suggestions for future videos, please leave those in the comments below as well. I'm always open to those and seeing what you guys want to see in my channel in the future. If you do like this video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you leave. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on my next one. Bye guys.